Okay, good evening everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 333 News. I'm your news anchor Wario, and in tonight's episode, we're going to be going over a few things, just some minor changes that we're going to show you in just a bit, and of course, some more New England weather events, because, yeah, we just can't get enough of it apparently. And also, please stick around to the end of the video, because I do have a message for you guys at the end. Alright. So, yeah, New England is in for some more rocky weather this week, with a wind advisory currently in place for pretty much the entire region, actually. There's nobody that's going to be safe from this, especially if you're in the northeast of the U.S., because we've got a wind advisory pretty much for the entire East Coast, as we are looking at it right now. Sustained winds will be in the 20s for most places, and a lot of those places are also going to be expecting wind gusts in the 40s. Donkey Kong is going to go ahead and give you guys more details in just a second, along with the unveiling of a slight update in the meteorology studio. It's not really a major overhaul, it's just a tiny little GUI change. Alright, in any case, the map and radar screen has been redone just a tiny bit, and this is going to be the first time since the software migration that we are going to be even using that screen, along with the threat level screen. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and take it to the meteorology studio. Over to you, Donkey Kong. Alright, welcome to the meteorology studio. I'm Donkey Kong, your meteorologist, and today we're going to be doing some meteorology in the meteorology studio. And we've got a wind advisory in place for all of New England, so we're going to get into that with the details as well. First, let's get started with your current conditions, and right now we're currently looking at 35 degrees roughly, and kind of windy out there. The wind's already starting to pick up. Wind is around 16 miles an hour due east, and we have relative humidity of 73%. As for cloud cover, there are some clouds rolling in, and there may even be some snow flurries depending on where you are. Very, very sporadic though. There's a pretty much like 10% chance that you'd even get snow flurries, and yeah, just pretty much negligible amount of snow as well. So yeah. As for the cloud cover, we decided we would do the clear and windy icon because it's another new weather icon we want to showcase, and it's not complete cloud covered, so yeah, we thought that it would be a fair trade-off. However, there are some clouds out there, so keep that in mind. Alright, now let's go ahead and go to your map and radar screen. Alright, so right off the bat, just a little bit of revision that we did. We swapped out our wind gust monitor, or whatever the heck it was called. I do not remember at all. The scale for the wind gust things with the colors and stuff, along with the snowfall map gust thing, color, whatever it was called. We swapped that out for watch warning advisory icons there. Well, color key, not icons. But yeah, that we just swapped that out because we have the keys for the wind gusts and snow just in the maps themselves now. It's a better design, honestly. Speaking of maps, there's your wind gust map. We've had that up for like a minute now, so yeah. As you can see, pretty much everywhere is going to be in the 40s for wind gusts. There are going to be a few places in those yellows there that are going to be down in only the 30-mile-an-hour wind gust territory. But pretty much everywhere is going to be seen into the 40s, which is that bright orange. And we did update the map keys. Since we did that software migration, it gave us an opportunity to upgrade the maps that we're using, and we took advantage of that. So the key is different, and now we can forecast wind gusts all the way up to 135 plus miles an hour. And the key kind of speaks for itself. I don't want to read out all the colors. But basically, the colors that are on the map are, yellow, which is 30 to 40, and the bright orange, which is 40 to 50. You can just reference the key whenever you need to, because that's the whole reason we have a key. So yeah. In any case, that's your wind gust forecast. Now, the power outage forecast. Let's go to that map. So, yeah. This one has also been revised a little bit. As you can see, we've got one new color on the key there, and it's a teal for possible power outages, which comes before isolated, and it's a lower chance than isolated power outages. And, yeah. That is actually the color that the entire map is covering right now, because pretty much everywhere has a chance of power outages. That chance is rather low. It's a pretty slim chance that you'd lose power, but since it's still possible, that is why we have marked it in the possible color, which is teal. So, yeah. Small chance of power outages, but still possible that you can see power outages, so it's not something to be completely ruled out, but the chances are very low. So, you don't really need to worry too much about it if you're confident that your electrical grid is going to be able to hold up perfectly fine, or whatever power is being routed to your house, the method that is being routed to your house, like underground wires or overhead or whatever the heck's going on there. If you're confident that you're not going to lose power, then there's really nothing you need to do. But I'm just pointing it out that there's a chance that it could happen. Alright, the threat levels. Yeah. Alright, so here's the threat levels. And not really much has changed here. We just changed the font that the threat levels are written in. But there's only 2 threats that you need to be made aware of. Wind at a level 2, because most places are going to be seeing those 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And we almost could have seen some 50s in certain spots, but unfortunately nowhere. Well, actually, fortunately for you guys, but unfortunately for us, because it would have made a more interesting forecast if we had some 50s in places. But there are no 50s expected anywhere. It's mostly 40-mile-an-hour wind gust territory. So yeah, wind is at a level 2 threat because we're seeing wind gusts into the 40s. So it's going to be quite breezy out there. Just be careful that you don't have any unsecured objects. You might want to, make sure that they're secured down or bring them inside, because they might get blown away if you don't secure them or bring them inside. Of course, I'm talking about smaller things, not bigger things, because the winds aren't going to be super strong, but they can blow away small unsecured objects. And as for the power outage threat, that's going to be a level 1. A pretty slim chance of power outages, but it's still on the table, so just be aware of that. And if you feel like you need to prepare for power outages, then you can if you want to, but not saying that you need to, because if outages do happen, they're not expected to be extended and probably just going to be brief outages. So you kind of don't really need to prepare for it, just be on the lookout, because there is still a slight chance that you could have a power outage or 2. Alright, and finally, the 7-day forecast. So there's a 7-day forecast. Alright, so right away, we're going to start with tomorrow, and you kind of know the deal by now. It's going to be windy, and 44 degrees for a high, 32 degrees for a low. So yeah, the wind is what we've been talking about the whole time, so that's kind of no surprise. So yeah, just, be prepared for those winds to go pretty much all day tomorrow. There's not going to be a relief from the winds until we make it to Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, on Tuesday, we are going to have sunny skies, 54 degrees for a high, and 33 degrees for a low. So it's going to be a lot nicer on Tuesday. Definitely take advantage of that, because that's probably going to be one of the nicest days of the week. And I say one of because as we approach later on in the week, there are going to be some also very nice days. On Wednesday, we're going to be having partly cloudy skies, 53 for a high and 35 for a low. Not looking too bad. Turning around here on Thursday, we're going to be looking at mostly cloudy skies, a whopping 60 degrees for a high in early March. Wow. That's going to be a really nice temperature to be looking forward to. Thursday's definitely a day to get out and enjoy yourself. And for the low, we're looking at 41 degrees. So, yeah. Thursday is going to be the warmest day of the week. And there are going to be a bunch of clouds in the sky, but that's not going to be too much of a pain or trouble, or whatever you want to call it. It's still going to be a very nice warm day out. Alright, on Friday, here's another new weather icon we have yet to use. We're going to be expecting some light rain and showers and stuff. And that is our light rain icon. It might be hard to see the actual rain falling, because there's just so little of it. There's not really a whole lot there, so it might be hard to see, but if you look really closely, you'll be able to see those raindrops coming out of that cloud there. High of 56, low of 40, you know the deal. Yeah. So just, be prepared that it's going to rain just a tiny bit on Friday. Not a whole lot, but just a tiny bit. On Saturday, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, 51 for a high, 39 for a low, not looking too bad. And next Sunday, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies, 54 for a high, and 38 for a low. I thought that was a 9 for a second. So yeah, overall the week is pretty decent, aside of obviously the wind threat that we have for today, Monday. I say tomorrow today because, well, it's like 1 or 2 in the morning right now. In any case, pretty nice week aside of Monday and possibly Friday, if you really care about a tiny bit of rain. And that's going to do it for your 7-day forecast, and that is your Fluency Hill forecast for the wind advisory that we're looking at. So we're gonna go ahead and take it back to Wario at the news desk. Back to you, Wario. Alright, thank you, Donkey Kong. So yeah, wind advisory tomorrow. Just make sure you don't leave any small unsecured objects outside, as Donkey Kong said, because those might get blown away by the winds. That's kind of the only real concern here, other than the fact that it's going to be windy and the tiny chance of power outages, which is basically negligible, but it's still on the table, so yeah. In any case, just one more announcement before we wrap things up here. Since it is spring break and we're home for the week, in our house, we're gonna take a stab at doing some 3-3 episodes using the new equipment, so you can look forward to that this week, and that's kind of all I have to say. That's gonna do it for tonight's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, I'm your news anchor Wario, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Wario, out.